What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and the moment we have all been waiting for is finally here. But I got to admit, it is anticlimactic as heck. For those of you all who don't know by now, Carlee Russell was officially, finally arrested today. She was charged with 2 measly little misdemeanors. In fact, by the time the Hoover Police Department announced that she had been arrested, by the time they announced what she was being charged with, Carlee Russell had already bonded out of jail. And I got to be honest with you all, folks, this is making me kind of salty. I'm kind of upset. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Carlee Russell should have gotten life in jail or anything stupid. But at the very least, if you want to run away and fake being kidnapped for 48 hours, you should at least have to spend 48 hours in jail. But no. Carlee Russell got off as easily as one possibly could in this situation. As easily as one possibly could. She is never going to do a single minute in jail. She'll probably get off with a little bit of fines and maybe some community service. To be honest with you all, if people don't stay on top of this story and no one is paying attention, they're not going to do anything to Carlee Russell at all. Look how hesitant they were to charge her. Just look how long it took. I covered another story earlier this week where an 11-year-old girl from Florida, she faked the kidnapping. They showed up to her house 2 hours later, arrested her, charged her with a felony, as well as several misdemeanors. And at the time of this recording, as far as I know, unless something has changed, she's still sitting in juvenile with no bond. Meanwhile, Carlee Russell, I guess spent, 30 minutes in jail? They processed her, and they processed her out. I doubt she even sat in a holding cell. I doubt that she did. But I want to show you all this quick little clip from the press conference so you can hear it from them instead of me. And then you already know I'm going to be back with more thoughts because I'm kind of upset about this one. I'm not going to lie.
Good afternoon. Earlier today, Hoover police detectives obtained warrants for the arrest of Carlee Russell through the Hoover Municipal Court for her actions related to faking her kidnapping and subsequently making false statements to detectives as they investigated this case. Her decisions that night created panic and alarm for the citizens of our city and even across the nation as the concern grew that a kidnapper was on the loose using a small child as bait. Numerous law enforcement agencies, both local and federal, began working tirelessly not only to bring Carlee home to her family, but locate a kidnapper that we know now never existed. Many private citizens volunteered their time and energy into looking for a potential kidnapping victim that we know now was never in any danger. This story opened wounds for families whose loved ones really were victims of kidnappings, some of which even helped organize searches in hopes they could find Carlee's alive so her family would not experience the pain and suffering that they felt when their loved ones never returned home. As we know, actions can have consequences, and that's why we're here today. This afternoon, Carlee Russell, with the assistance of her attorney, turned herself into the Hoover City Jail, where she was arrested for the following charges: false reporting to law enforcement authorities, Class A misdemeanor, $1,000 bond; falsely reporting an incident, a Class A misdemeanor with a $1,000 bond. Each of these charges carry up to a year in jail and potential fine of $6,000 upon conviction. Ms. Russell was released from jail after posting bond. We initially presented this case to District Attorney Lanice Washington, who agreed to handle prosecution through district court. After consulting with the Circuit Court of Jefferson County Bessemer Division, the case was referred back to municipal court for charging because the only applicable charges were misdemeanors. Judging from the amount of phone calls and emails that we've received from people all over the country, I know many are shocked and appalled that Ms. Russell is only being charged with 2 misdemeanors, despite all the panic and disruption her actions caused. Let me assure you, I too share the same frustration, but existing laws only allow the charges that were filed to be filed. I can tell you that I will be contacting our state legislatures on behalf of law enforcement in Montgomery and asking them to look at this law applied to these facts and urge them to add an enhancement to current legislation when somebody falsely reports kidnapping or another violent crime. Because of the attention this case has garnered, we've requested Attorney General Steve Marshall's office adopt this case, and they've agreed to do so. The Hoover Police Department wants to thank everyone that assisted us from the beginning and continues to assist us in this case as we work its way through the criminal justice system.
I am so disappointed right now. And it's not like I'm sitting here praying on Carlee Russell's downfall. I didn't want her to have, some super harsh sentencing or, I didn't want her to go to jail for a long time, but I wanted her to at the very least, learn her lesson. And I can tell you right now, she did not learn her lesson from this situation. If anything, she got off, like I said earlier, as sweet as possible. 2 little misdemeanors. She's going to have to pay a little fines that her family's going to take care of. She's not going to do 1 second of time. She may have a few hours of community service that I can tell you right now, she's not going to do. If her family has connections, they'll have people sign off on the paperwork, and Carlee Russell will not do a minute of community service. But here's my main issue. We still don't know where Carlee Russell was, where she went, and we don't know who helped her, if someone helped her in this situation. And from the looks of it, we never will. The Hoover Police Department, once they found out this was a hoax, it doesn't appear to me as if they tried to really investigate any further. Because they claim that they still don't know where she was. And the fact that they still don't know lets me know that they're not even trying. If they wanted to, they could find out exactly where Carlee Russell was, exactly who she was with, and all of that good stuff. But I think that once that statement was released, when Carlee finally admitted that it was a lie, I think they stopped the investigation right then and there. I don't think that they looked into this case even 1 minute further. And that's very upsetting to me. Because here we are looking for closure in this story. And yeah, we got 2 misdemeanors against Carlee. But we're never going to know where she was or who she was with. They're leaving that open-ended. And what I'm afraid of here is that, everyone wants an ending to this story. Everyone wants to know what happened. And because law enforcement left it open-ended, now Carlee Russell has room to exploit the rest of her story, or she has room to fabricate the rest of her story. I can tell you right now, we have not seen the last of Carlee Russell. Carlee Russell has not been embarrassed enough. Carlee Russell didn't really have to suffer any consequences. At the end of the day, the misdemeanors to the side, I think Carlee is gaining from the situation, if anything. And I know what you're thinking, but Carlee Russell was this nursing student. She had everything going for her. No, she didn't. All of that was mumbo jumbo lies and BS. They can share 1,000 pictures of Carlee graduating and 1,000 pictures of Carlee in doctors' lab coats. The reality is, this girl was out here babysitting and working as a hostess at a spa. She was not nursing. she did not have her ish together. So she didn't have much to lose. I know going into this situation, we all had a certain idea of how Carlee was, when in reality, she was just a ratchet, an idiot that wanted attention. I'm thinking that she was a scholar, a top nurse with a bright future ahead of her. When in reality, she's just an idiot scallywag. You know what I mean? I mean, just to be honest. But I think that because they left this open-ended, that gives Carlee even more room to profit off of her story. And at the same time, it spares Carlee the embarrassment. It spares her from having to answer for what she did, because who knows what she's telling these people. Carlee Russell could have done anything in those 48 hours. I guarantee you she's not telling her family, her little ex-boyfriend, or none of them the truth about what she actually did. And by them not pressing forward, Carlee's really winning here. You see, Carlee played her cards and she lied up until a certain point, when she realized that it would benefit her to tell the partial truth. Carlee lied, stretched out the lie until she realized, okay, either I'm going to continue lying and get fully exposed, or I'm going to give you a piece of the truth and then you'll back off and leave me alone. That's what happened here. Carlee admitted that she lied about the kidnapping. She gave you part of the truth, and Hoover police backed off. I wouldn't say that the general public backed off, but the news cycle is the news cycle. By tomorrow, there'll be another thing to talk about, and there already has been a half a dozen other things to talk about. So in reality here, long story short, Carlee won the day. Carlee has won the day. The girl came up on thousands of social media subscribers. The girl's name became a household name in many households across America. I guarantee you there will be media outlets willing to pay her to tell her story, whatever her story may be, regardless if it's fake or not. I doubt if we're not going to get law enforcement telling us what happened, we're never going to get the full truth of where Carlee went. And I can live with that. I'm okay with that. But that kind of sucks at the same time. Especially when I'm thinking like, okay, a month from now, we're going to be watching the Carlee sit-down interview where she turns herself into this victim that was running away from all of these bad things. And it's already been lined up to play Carlee out to be the victim in this situation. It didn't matter how mad the general public got. Carlee got away with a slap on the wrist. And at the end of the day, I hate to say it, but in my opinion, and a lot of people will not share this opinion because they probably don't know how social media works. But as someone that knows how social media works, in my opinion, Carlee Russell got the last laugh here. Carlee Russell got the last laugh. She didn't lose from this situation at all. She gained. And right now, you might not be able to tell that she gained from this situation. Give it 6 months. You'll see. Let me know your thoughts, though, down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all soon in the next video.